Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, Elise Bradley here. Altar day. Who is gonna say I do at the altar on Love is Blind? I'm so excited. I love to see how this experiment rolls out, and I will enjoy seeing where they've come since filming, which will be happening this Sunday. The reunion will be happening, and I can't wait. Super excited. Let's get into it. We're talking about episode 12 of Love is Blind, and before we get started, I'm going to say if you are liking this content, please do all the things like subscribe, comment below, but be nice in the comment section, please. Don't forget to hit the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video, and let's just get started. So we just finished episode 11 with Chelsea saying I do at the altar to Kwame, which we pretty much all guessed she would say yes. I mean, I don't think any of us probably thought she'd say no. I think we were probably all on the fence of what Kwame would say, especially because his mom was not going to attend the ceremony. She didn't really support this whole process. And I think that she had an idea of whom she wanted Kwame to marry, somebody that is a part of his culture. Certain cultures really want their children to marry into the same culture. And also because of the whole Micah ickiness, I just didn't know. I didn't know if he would get there with Chelsea, but I did understand that we didn't get to see everything, of course, because of editing. But we're sitting at the altar, and Kwame does say some beautiful words to Chelsea, and that's when I started thinking, okay, first of all, you're really good with your words, and the way you're expressing your love towards Chelsea makes me second guess my thoughts if you potentially say no. And well, that's exactly what happened. Kwame says, I do. And good for them. They seem really happy with one another so far. And I was excited that he said I do. I think Chelsea has some great qualities in her, and she does truly adore him. I think it goes back to what Kwame initially said in one of the episodes. He said, Love is Blind experiment has taught me ways that I need to be loved. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. We are seeing Kwame find out that the kind of love that he needs is somebody that loves him unconditionally, affirms that love, is all about him. That makes him feel good. And that's exactly how Chelsea is. Chelsea's always like touching his hair, looking into his eyes. I mean, she looks at him like he is the perfect person in the entire universe, and that she will love him through everything. Even as a viewer was thinking, I probably need to affirm my husband just a little bit more. Even Chelsea taught me that. I think that that's why Kwame said yes. I really do. I think he decided that this is the kind of relationship in marriage that he wants and he needs. And good luck to them. I'm super happy for them. I want everyone to find love and be happy. Even if I was wrong about my prediction, I was only like half wrong. I thought he would say no, but I didn't think they wouldn't date. So we'll go with half right, half wrong. What do you think? So we're going on to Micah and Paul. And Micah and Paul's wedding day, it's Seattle. So it's a little dreary, a little rainy. I think that's pretty normal for Seattle weather. Unfortunately, we get a lot of that here in Kentucky. And it starts off with Micah, walking into the venue, about to get ready for her wedding day. And they do a complete recap of their whole relationship. And it's just a quick reminder of the highs and the lows. And we're reminded of the love that they appear to have for one another. But we're also reminded that she wants to spend 50-50 time in Arizona and in Seattle. And he was kind of like, I don't really want to do that. So they have cracks in their relationship. And And the friend group. Oh my gosh, the friend group. But we're sitting there during Micah's discussion with her friends on her wedding day as they're all getting ready. And I mean, she's trying to explain to her friends why she loves Paul and why she's going to let him go first. She's saying, I mean, I think I elevate his style. And her friend Shelby was like, I don't even want to talk about his style. Like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're judgy. You're a little judgy. I'm sure people judge your style too, girl. I don't think style really makes a difference in how someone's treating you. Obviously, Micah is trying to say, I know that he doesn't seem like my normal type, but he loves me. He brings out a side of me that allows me to be myself that nobody else has brought out of me. I feel comfortable with him. And I do love him. And I think that that's so sweet. I think that if you're able to be yourself with somebody, that speaks volumes. But you can just tell Shelby's just like, he's like not the one. He's not good enough. And I just didn't like, is anyone going to be good enough for your girl Micah? Or do you not want to see her happy ever? Do I really see Micah with Paul? No, I really don't. Just how she's presented herself on the show and how Paul has been on the show, I just don't see it. I never saw Paul react at all to the Kwame situation and how Micah was with him in the pool in Mexico. And I thought that was kind of weird. We shoot to Paul talking to his friends in his area where they're going to get ready for the wedding. And I forgot that him and Micah both have said this. Paul says, me and Micah view the world the same way. We have the same idea of what we want our life to look like. But then he says something like, she makes me think of the world as like, it is what it is. You just got to enjoy life and let it be what it'll be. His brother is looking over at him like, you've never really viewed the world that way. You're more analytical and very logical on your thought process. So her bringing that out of you, it's a good thing that now you see the world a little bit differently, but is that sustainable? And his friend said it perfectly. It's risky both ways. It's risky to say yes, because then you might look back and say, I should have said no. But it's also risky to say no, because then you might look back and think, I should have said yes. Moving on from her conversation with her mom says it really well. Micah says to her mom, we don't know what we're going to say. And I don't believe that. I think that they have some idea what the other one's going to say. I think they definitely have spoken about how they feel. Micah's like, I just thought I'd get here on my wedding day and it would look different, I'm sure. And I thought when you knew, you knew. And her mom goes, you do know. Like, you know. And I agree with her, because I know it's like such a, like, it's like the worst statement to make. When you know, you know. But literally, when you know, you know. And by Micah's reaction to her mom saying, I'm not sure, she's sure. Pauling for her. Poor Paul, man. Poor Paul. He wants a clear answer. Good luck with that one. I don't think there's a clear answer on this shit at all. But his mom is great. His mom was definitely one of those people that I think she's super sweet. She came in just like, you look gorgeous. I don't know why she's gorgeous, not handsome. Like, I'd be like, you look handsome, son. But she said gorgeous. But he says to his mom, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I just know that I love her and I don't want to lose her. And she says, anything other than yes, by default, is a no. So in so many words, she's basically telling him, like, you can't say yes just because you're afraid of losing her. You can't lose something you never had. And if you say no and you lose her, it wasn't meant to be anyways. And then his dad and his stepmom come in. And his dad's like, and his stepmom are both like, you're overthinking everything. I think that you'll get there and you'll just say what you need to say, whether it be yes or no. And no matter what, it'll be the right thing. We are finally seeing Micah walk down the aisle towards Paul, and I just was not prepared for the way she was going to react. But Micah gets up there and she's like, embrace it. She embraces Paul and she goes, I've missed you so much. She seems giddy, happy, very excited about this moment. Paul seems more reserved. I feel like he's going to say no. Is it pissing anybody else off during this ceremony that Micah's bra is out? Is it making anybody angry? Nobody was there to help her make sure that strap was tucked. Should be tucked. It's very distracting. Okay, anyways, Micah says some really nice words to Paul. She's like, after we got over all of our crap, you know, you made me feel like the parts of me that were not lovable were better. And she goes, coming from a divorced family, which I was kind of finally picking up that her parents were divorced, but they've done a really good job being around each other. So kudos to them. She goes, meeting your family and just being around you and knowing how much family dynamic are part of your core values, and that a lot of things about what we wanted and what matters the most to us just aligned were great. And Paul said, I question a lot. Well, I question everything. And he goes, but the one thing I've never questioned is my love for you. Sweet. When the woman is going through the vows and asking if she's going to say, I do, Shelby is literally in the audience going, why are you shaking your head? Why? And Micah's response to the vows being read to her, I think, Paul, in this moment, I should let you answer first. And basically everyone in the audience is like, oh my gosh. So I can tell Paul's reaction is kind of like, I was not prepared for Micah to say that. And it's honestly like, Micah obviously is letting Paul take the lead for a reason. If you can't answer yes or no, then you probably want to say no, but you want me to be the one to say no so that you don't feel bad for saying no. Paul says, I don't think we're right for each other at this moment. And Micah says in response, I knew you were probably going to say that. Basically, that's why I let you go first, because I didn't want to look stupid. Micah is literally, after the conversation with Paul, not even letting Paul speak because she wants to run away as fast as she can. And as she's walking away, he's like, what's best for me is best for you. And I was like, listen, Paul, that's what you said to freaking Amber in the pods. I remember that. And for somebody who appears to be very intelligent, maybe you don't use the same lines to the same girls when you're ending things. As she's running off, upset, why does her friend Shelby, why are you smiling? Whether you wanted it to go a certain way or not, be a friend in the moment. It's embarrassing. Be a friend. And someone behind her goes, is that what you wanted to happen? She's like, yeah, that went exactly how I wanted it to happen. I mean, she's the worst. Why don't you get up, go chase after your friend, and be one? Paul saying that love was not reciprocated, but he always acted like they were madly in love with each other. Like, anytime they leave the room, they would be like, I miss you, I miss you. But he also said something interesting about nurturing. It's like he almost couldn't see her as being the mother of his children. It wasn't fair to say that she wouldn't be nurturing. I did want to mention this part. Paul did chase after Micah, but obviously Micah did not want to speak to him because she was so hurt. But I know Micah said at the very end of episode 12 that she was going to say yes to Paul. In the moment, it felt like when she decided to let him go first, it was because she did not want to be the one to say no. And I think that changed Paul's mind, because he said he had not made up his mind until he got down to the end of the aisle. And when he was asked, does he say I do? So that makes me kind of think, did her having him go first make him second guess her feelings towards him? Or was Micah truthful in what she had to say about he was most likely going to say yes if I said yes? So I wanted him to have the opportunity to say no. I don't really know, because obviously there were things missing for us. I did not like a lot of things that Micah did throughout the season, but I'm not really sure about this part. I don't know how you feel. Please comment below. I do know, though, that I did feel as if Micah's friends really were a telltale sign of the type of person that she was. Unfortunately, you are who you hang out with, and when your friends come off a certain way, it makes your character be put into question. And I think after Paul met her friends, I could see why he could potentially change his mind about marrying Micah. Okay, now we're on to my favorite couple, Brett and Tiffany. The way Tiffany's describing how she feels is wonderful. She's said, like, I'm fine with being alone. I'm fine with being by myself. But I just did want someone to share this life with. I know who I am. I'm confident in that. I've built a great life, but it's just not the same without a significant other. And Brett brings out all those emotions and all those genuine feelings that she's been wanting to feel for a really long time for another individual. And it is just, it's magical to watch. And I love watching this type of love. They remind me that some of these couples that meet on reality TV shows are very real. And it is nice when we shift over to Brett and Brett just says, Tiffany's the one. It is that easy for him to say. He seems relaxed, nervous, but just that he's got to put a ring on it. They're one of my favorite couples I've seen on reality TV, and I'm here for it. But then you flip to Brett, and Tiffany's dad is actually in there talking to him and getting to know him. I don't think I've ever seen that dynamic on the show. And he's basically making sure that Brett is in love with his daughter and that his intentions are true and they want the same things. And I love hearing that they come from families that have made it through some hardships, parents that have been through the ringer, especially Brett's parents, you know, having lights turned off, water turned off, house taken away, and still finding a way to stay together, because one of the hardest times comes when you have financial distress. I love it that Brett asked for Tiffany's hand in marriage to her dad. I think that is always commendable. Ugh. But what we saw in the previews makes now so much more sense when Brett says, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. It's because his pants do not fit well and he is frustrated and he is not about to walk down the aisle, especially because he knows he's going to say yes, take a bunch of pictures, and it'd be his day, and not feel confident in what he is wearing and how he is dressed. And especially if they don't fit, like, no, it is your day. You only get so many days that are about you. So he gets him fixed, as he deserves to. And Marshall shows up to his wedding. It just shows that they had a genuine friendship. And it's probably really hard for Marshall to show up, as he said, because it could have been him. But it would have never been him because Jackie was not the one for him. So we're finally at Tiffany and Brett's wedding. She is about to walk down the aisle. Her dad is the one that is going to be walking her down. And he just looks over at her and tells her he's a good man. And she's like, I know, he's a really good man. And I definitely feel so bad for Brett that his mom and brother are not able to attend the wedding. Tiffany's words are just absolutely stunning, saying that I felt the love in the pods. You make me feel like a better person. I fell in love with you every single day. And then Brett with his words. He said, your kindness, your ability to show me love in every way possible. And I love it how when the pastor, preacher, ordained minister gets up there and he starts to say his speech, but they throw in the fact that she fell asleep in the pods, which is hilarious. And of course, Brett said, I will never let you live that down, as he shouldn't. You should never let her live it down. It is a great story. It's so funny, and I'm glad it's captured on camera. And then it starts to rain, and as it's raining, Tiffany goes, it's really good luck. And it is good luck. But they don't really need luck. Of course, they said yes. Come on. They both said, I absolutely will. And Brett's ready to start his life with Tiffany. So we're on to Bliss and Zach. I do think that they both are genuinely good people and deserve love. And I hope that they have really, truly found the loves of their lives in each other. I love how we start off with Bliss, saying that she really genuinely feels like she found her person in Zach. She had not experienced something like that before, but that she was extremely heartbroken when it ended. And I commend Bliss for still trusting in her intuition to continue on with Zach even after she had been so heartbroken from him. And she said, I had trust in all the reasonings behind why things happen the way that they do. But she did say it's interesting how things do go full circle. And I agree with her on that. I love her wedding party, by the way. Her friends seem extremely genuine and sweet and like they're there for her. Way better than Micah's party. Moving on to Zach, I think his friends were doing a really good job of asking him the right questions. I don't know if Love is Blind producers probed them into asking the right questions, but they asked, why did you not pick Bliss first? Great question. And I didn't realize that Zach and her had an argument the night before, and it was more back to the things that make Zach more insecure is not having family acceptance, because he thinks if your family doesn't accept me, how will we ever make it as a couple? And he felt like she was dismissive on the family dynamic and how they were going to understand and accept him with the background that he has with his mother. And she was like, yeah, they'll accept you, but he didn't feel confident in that. And maybe that's why he went with Irina, because they had had some similar hardships in their childhood. I don't know, but it was nice to kind of hear maybe why he flipped, because he said he was going to choose Bliss initially until that conversation that evening, and that made him flip to Irina. I definitely want to say that I feel so bad that Zach's mom couldn't be a part of the wedding, that she's already passed away, but that I'm so thankful that his grandmother and sister were able to attend the wedding. And his sister, like, kind of resembles Irina just a smidge. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I think it's beautiful that no matter what his mom did, how she raised him, all the things that she had to do to make ends meet, that he goes, she made me the person that I am today. We go into the wedding, and I guess I want to say this right before they decide if they're going to say yes. I don't want them to not say yes. I want them to say yes, because I think they genuinely are a match made in heaven. And I like how Zach, when the minister, she's telling them both, like, all right, everyone be seated. And they go on to say their vows. And Zach really takes it full circle. He says, I didn't realize I loved you until you were gone, which I appreciate that because I think Bliss needs to hear why he didn't pick her first and why he didn't know that she was the one right out the gate. And Bliss responded with, your perception of the world is beautiful. And the way she talks about Zach is, we're the same. Okay, so Zach and Bliss say yes. And I am so thankful they said yes because honestly, they had me nervous for a second. They really did. When we got down to the vows and like, are you gonna say I do? Zach took a nice little pause to make everybody in the audience nervous. And he goes, Bliss, I love you. I do. But when you say, Bliss, I love you, it's almost like, is there a but coming that way? Super dramatic. But he said yes, so we're all good there. And then Bliss goes, Zach, you're also taking a pause too. Why are you being so dramatic? Like, let's get this shit rolling. Luckily, she said yes too. So it's absolutely beautiful. And of course, their first dance to their song is I Hope You Dance. And it's absolutely beautiful. They recap and show how just happy they are and how amazing they feel. And it's just really nice to see. I think this is honestly the best season of Love is Blind. They found the best matches. I really do see longevity in these couples more than I have in past seasons. But I love you guys. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay alert. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.